Along the path we parted ways. I walk the night, you tread the day, and we forgot we slept in knots all on the sunset coast. We shared our meals, we shared our songs, by candlelight or by the sun. I know you've sung 1,000 more, all since the time you've gone.
Hello everyone, this is Chad Redding here with Ruck Rabbit Outdoors. Today we are actually doing something a little different. We have been going out and we've been doing a lot of shelter videos, and we've actually been doing some camping videos. So what we're doing today is we're going to show you one of the myriad of parks that we have here in Pennsylvania. Today we're actually going to be showing you a county park. We are in York County specifically, which is my home county here in south central Pennsylvania. We are in kind of the southern hills region, known in local parlance as the Simsime Hills, which is south of Spring Grove, versus the Pigeon Hills, which is where I'm from. So we are actually at P. Joseph Raab County Park, and it is a unique little park that came into fruition in the late 90s and early 2000s. Originally from 1854 to the 1890s, this was an iron mine. So some really cool historical things in this park, and some really cool features that are in no other parks in the area. So we're going to go show you this today, and I think this is going to be the start of a new series. We're actually going to start doing like a series on Pennsylvania parks and maybe even state forests. And I figured this was a good place to start. So let's go check out this historic and really cool area here in York County. Okay, there is a small parking lot here at Joseph P. Raab. You come in off a road called Hoff Road, and back there in all those woods and through the fields are where the iron mine is. There's one access trail right here, and it's a long one. And these trails are very, very easy. I'm not going to have anything real super difficult today. There are some rock outcroppings and rock formations that's characteristics of these hills, but nothing like what you see on the AT or on top of the hills down by the river. So we're basically on the edge of what amounts to a farmer's field. And there actually is a farm on the other side of this old fence row. And this access trail just basically goes down this fence row. So if you need if you're in the York County area, or you're a York County resident, or just somebody who enjoys visiting these parks, this is a cool one to do for like a day trip, especially for kids, because you have easy trails. Now with that in mind though, you do need to come out with water and other things. As far as amenities go, there are no picnic areas or anything like that. This is basically kind of a day use hiking area with historical significance. So as far as I know, at least in the last time I was here, there are no like picnic tables or anything like that. So bear that in mind. Bring things to easy to eat food and water and all that. No fires are allowed and no camping is allowed here. I will show you guys a shot of the rules. So like I said, it's basically just a little day-use park that has some cool historical things in it. And as you can see, the trail is just, oops, bumped the camera there. As you can see, the trail is just really easy. Nothing too difficult. And we just kind of are looping along right here. This might even been probably an access road for the mines at one time. And you can see some of the large rocks. Could have been tillings. And they build roads and stuff like that from the 1800s. It doesn't go away. You know, the old roads survive. And you saw that in the latest shelter video, where there was a lot of old roads in the mining area along the AT. And this would have been about the same time period. In the mid to late 1800s, there was a huge iron boom then. And the iron industry was very important to York County, and was one of the first industries that took hold here. It actually started in the 1700s. If you think about Codorus furnace, you know, that made cannonballs and all that for the Revolutionary War, and cannons. And it was one of the first industries that, like I said, that took hold here and was important for the local economy. We have a lot of old iron hills and iron pits and like this, and areas that and furnaces and forges that were here from that time. Even where I'm from, the Pigeon Hills has like Iron Ridge Road. There's still old open pits there that are filled with water. And Spring Grove was originally called Spring Forge. It's where they forged pig iron into things like anything you can think of, really, that could be made of iron. So, well, all right, we're gonna move along this trail here. As you can see, we're gonna make good time on this one. And when we get to the iron mines, I'll start showing you guys some things. But very easy hiking, super easy. This is basically just an old, like I said, might have been a road for the iron mines at one time for the operation, but now it's just was probably also used for the farmers. Now it's just a really super easy hiking trail. We're just now about ready to enter into the valley, into the main area where the mining was. We basically came down that real wide trail there, kind of over a rise from where we parked. And that brings us right down into the main area, which is basically a wooded valley. That's the trail that goes in there. There's a stream down here. Right here. If you can see it there. Hear it running. And we're right on the border of the park. The first thing we're going to be looking for is the foundation of an old house. And it is only right on the corner of the park area. And it was once a 2.5-story house that was main living quarters and office of the mining superintendent. So we're working along here. I know it's across the creek, so we're going to have to cross the creek here somewhere. As you can see, there's a lot of brambles and brush. So we're going to, let's see if we can find an area to jump over. But you can see most of the trails are really easy here. You can see there's a hill up that way, and there's a hill up that way. You can start seeing some of the rock outcroppings from all the mining. And this, you got to remember, this land was very much disturbed by human activity and is just now coming back to being wildland again, or nature. This was a dump after the iron ore was all mined out. For a long time, this area was used as a dump. A lot of the local kids came down here and played. I did not, because I was from a little north of here. I have friends who said that they came here and they played as kids. They called them the caves back then. But there was garbage through here. And then 1993 is when the waste management that owned it gave it to the county and the state, and that's when they turned it into this park. They cleaned it up. Let's see if we can find a way down through here. Push this brush aside. If we can find a way across the creek, because I want to find this house. I've looked for it before and never found it. So see if we can find a, looks like there's an easy place to cross. There's some old stuff over there. I wonder what that is. So let's cross over here. So we're technically off trail right now, which is fine. We're not going to damage or destroy anything. We can't do any more damage than what was already done, especially if we're just walking. Let's see. We'll just walk across. Our boots are waterproof. We'll just stomp through here. Rah. Okay. So the foundation should be somewhere along here, according to the map. Now, as good as these maps are, and we're following what looks like probably a game trail. Oh, I think we found it, actually. Houses back then weren't very big. Yep, this is the foundation for the house. Let me get this knocked down here so we can get through this. And it's very much crumbling. So you can see the rocks there. This was built into the hillside. There's another rock pile there. It's actually some bricks right here I stepped over. Show you guys that. Right there. Some old moss covered bricks. There's some more over there in the area. If you kind of look around, you could see them. A lot of people would walk by this. Here, let me pack this down a little bit so we can get in here. One reason to carry a good walking stick. Okay. Now you can really see it. Let me disengage myself from a thorn bush. There we go. So this would have been the foundation of the house. And you can see the rocks there. And we'll follow the foundation up. And right there is the rest of the foundation. So they built it into the hillside, built the foundation into the hillside. And you can see the rest of the rocks all covered with moss. Let's kind of walk in here and give you guys a better view of it. We're basically probably what was the foundation in the basement right now. There's some more brick right there. There's a good shot of it. Now you guys can see. So there once was a 2.5-story house that sat here where the superintendent lived. There's some more. That's where he lived, and he was a guy. He was a boss of the area. You can see we're a little bit underground because we're literally standing in the middle of the house. This actually was pretty sizable by 1800 standard. Here's more of a wall. And you can see it's basically probably made out of the local rock. Looks like it's all like the shale. A lot of shale in this area. Another stone. But yeah, this would have been the view of the house, roughly, looking out into the ironworks. And there would have been men out here with pick and shovel and digging this out by hand. And there would have been mules and donkeys and horses here. And they basically carried it by gravity. They had a railroad, tracks laid down. And the mining cars were going to get out of this foundation now. There's another. Here, they'll just do another sweep shot here so you guys can see it. So this is the, you can see through all the brush there. That's the eastern or western side. And we move along here along the hillside where it was dug in. That's the kind of the northerly side. And we come back down here where it's just, you know, basically ruins now. But there would have been, like I said, mules, donkeys, and horses, and they had cars that they filled with ore, and they had like a gravity railroad laid in, and the cars would go down the railroad tracks to where they would be loaded on the main actual railroad, and they were taken down to Cockeysville, Maryland, is where most of the ore was taken out. As you can see, the creek kind of goes around here. I imagine there was probably a little bridge or walkway that went across here so these guys could get in and out of this house. And you can see this was leveled out. I don't know if the camera can show it, but it's like a terraced out for the house. But yeah, there was a 2.5-story building there at one time. Really cool. Really cool. So there's a lot of quartz in this area. As you can see there. And that's where the ore was in. It was in the quartz veins. So we found the house. We're back on the main trail. So we are entering into the main mining area. So imagine this valley was full of men digging, the sound of pickaxes and shovels. Because remember, this was the 1800s. So this was before you had all the heavy equipment that we have now. There's a trail that goes up that way. We'll eventually go that way. You can see all the terraces. All them loose rocks, that's basically just dumped rocks. Junked rocks that they dumped. Looking back over that way, over there roughly is where the house was. And we're just walking into the main area right now. There are a total of 5 mine openings here. There's just another shot of the bank. And that was just all waste rock that they dumped here. And you could just see, you can just see there's like a narrow bank that goes along here, and that's just all waste that they dumped there. So wild. And what I'm walking on is literally, I'll show you guys this. This was definitely built during the, see how level that is? This was definitely built during the mining time. And you can see how all the rocks, It's basically piled up rocks. Very similar to the road in episode 7 of Give Me Shelter of the ore road and the coal road, or charcoal road. And you can see, yeah, so this was definitely built up off the valley floor. And then that little berm there that I showed you, that's basically a drainage ditch. That was to carry water away from the workings. That's why that's there. Hey, little kinglet just was there. I hope I got him in the shot. He was like so close to me, he didn't care. I should have brought some bird seed with me. There you can really see. That little rise was made by humans. So we're definitely entering into the main mine area. So anyways, there's a total of 5 openings. Some of these are massive. And one good thing about it is it provided habitat for the native bats in the area. So these caves are now gated off. So you're not going to be getting in here. You can see that they cut it out. And there's the first opening. So let's walk in and check that out. It's very small. This is not huge, this one. This probably was an air shaft. And here, if you just look at these rocks that are loose, you can see it looks rusted. That straight line on the rock, right here, was made by a drill bit. So you're thinking, well, a drill bit, thought they didn't have the tools. Well, there were bits that they would hammer in by hand, and they would turn it. And they were like stars shaped on the end. So this is one of the openings. And as you can see right now, it's very small. I would have to crawl in that. And you can just see all the evidence of the mining that was done here. And you can see the shale-like formations all along here. Very cool. Here you can see more of the rusting there. That means there's iron ore here. But yeah, I'll back up here. It is very dark in there. Should have brought a flashlight, but I didn't think about it. We're not going in there anyways, but this is one of the first openings. So this probably would have been for air. At first they did open pit mining, and there was a huge open pit. I will show you guys that later. And you could just see all the openings they did here. It's really cool. This is the first time I've been here in the winter, so this is nice because I'm actually getting to see more. Because when you're here during the summer, this gets very full of foliage, and a lot of this stuff is hidden. On that hillside over there, I think that's another opening. You can see more evidence of where they were digging. Okay, let's keep going here. And this was actually a very, very high quality ore. It was something that they definitely wanted. And like I said, they started with an open pit mine, and then they eventually started drilling into the hillsides, actually doing closed mines. Because open pit mines was the preferred method. You didn't have to have any oxygen or anything like that. There's a shot of the hillside. Just very wild. So there's an opening over there on that side. There's 2 on that side, looks like. We're going to walk up to this one. This is one of the big ones. This is where you could actually walk in if you wanted to. So that was the first hole, like I said, and then it looks like there was 2 over there. Showed you guys that. So let's approach this second hole. And here's a little more. You can see what looks like a wall there. That's man-made too. That probably was where they had the tracks for like a support for the tracks. I don't know exactly, but that might have been like a little support for the tracks that they made for the ore cars. You can see a little more man-made workmanship right there. That's not just dumped there, that was piled there for a reason. So let's approach this second hole, and this is an actual mine entrance. This is where people would go into the mines. And this is definitely big enough that you could get in there if they didn't have it graded off. So it looks like there was a hole there, a small one at one time. You can see there's a lot of rubble there. And this is really tall. Let's do a kind of a shot here. Up the hill. And they did all this with pick, shovel, and black powder. That's what the hole was that I showed you guys, the little drill hole. They would drill into that, fill that, pack that with black powder and blow it out. And this is just impressive. Just so impressive. So cool. So let's climb up this. And we're going to do this carefully, because the leaves make it slippery. Wow. Hello. Look at that. Just really cool. So that metal grating is put there. It even has a symbol of a bat on it. Right there. Which is cool. The metal grating is to keep people out, but it's wide enough to let the bats, when they fly out, pass through. And that's there for your safety. That's why that's there. But that opening, oh my, it's probably 8 feet tall, if not more. Wow. Yeah, it's a good 7-8 feet deep, open. I'm watching my footing. That's my walking stick. So let's focus back in there for you guys. You can see that goes way back in there. So cool. And it's pretty wide. Wish I had a flashlight. Looks like there might be actually stalactites. No, that's just the way the opening is. There ain't going to be no stalactites or stalagmites in there. It's not a natural cave. But you can see the layers in the rock. And what they were after was the quartz. That's so cool. You see how rusted that looks? That is iron ore in there. This is the view out. It's just so cool. But yeah, this is what makes this little county park so impressive. So that's 2 of the 5 openings. I'm just gonna go down here. Like I said, it is a little slippery because of the dry leaves, but not too bad. Pretty cool. And I know I say that because it is neat. So yeah, man, basically did a lot of damage to this area, but nature's reclaiming it. And there's a good side. The bats have homes. Even though they do have homes, but it gives them even more homes. So the trail goes across this creek, so we're gonna cross the creek again. I think that's trail 3. Goes up that way. We are gonna go up on there. I think there was an observation deck up there at one time. Whether it's still there, I don't know. Last time I was there, which was years ago, it was in probably rough shape. There's a little metal grating here. It goes over this. And we're in almost to the end of the valley. All right, let's see. Let's go off this way. If we can get to these other openings here. Now, I was here one time years ago. It was during the summer. And it was up on top of this hill, and it was on this side. And there was a hole that you could look down into one of the mines. And there was a huge snake curled up inside there. I don't know what kind it was. I don't think it was a timber rattler. Here in York County, we don't have timber rattlers here anymore. And this, not on the northern end of the county where the mountains are, but not down here in the south, in the hills anymore. They're long since been eradicated. Probably was just a big old copperhead. We got a lot of them. And I'm basically walking on just a bunch of rock piles. And this would have been where they dumped the rocks. Because they would dump them pretty much anywhere that was convenient. Yeah, I think this was the hole with the snake. So these are the two that we did the distance shot of. And let's go over to this one first. There's a shot of the other mine we just left. As you can see there. We're going to go check this one out. And this one looks like it had caved in. But this was definitely a mining area. I think that, yeah, this is the hole where I saw the snake. So behind that cave-in is an opening. Huge opening. Looks like a hawk had some issues here. Hawk feather on the ground there. If you see it. Yeah. We'll take that with us just because it's kind of cool. But we'll leave something in return. And people come down here and still party. It's a garbage can there. But we're not going to climb that. Not getting into all that today. But that's basically a hole that goes down behind that is another one of those openings. And that was either caved in or probably filled in. Like I said, if you look down that hole, you can see there is an opening there. Because I had looked down in there and seen it years ago. Make our way out of here. And there's what might be a woodpecker feather. Right there. So we're going to take that with us too. Kind of cool. We'll take them as gifts. We'll leave something in return. Always do. Let's walk over to this other one. And it looks like that one's open. We just got to scramble over all that junk. All right, so just to give you guys a shot, so there's still snow. We had most of the snow is melted. The sun doesn't get in here. And just give you a slow sweep. Right there's the hole, the opening. That's where we're going. And that's the hillside. And this one has partially been filled in or collapsed. I would say filled in. And we're going to get down in here. So we got to go slow with this. There's some ice here. So we don't want to slip. And it's from boot prints from people. Well, like I said, you don't want to slip. And we got through. This is steeper than it looks. Whoa. Okay. Got up, slowly but surely. Working our way up. So you see, you gotta be careful, like I keep saying. This is a little harder because I got one hand on the camera. Okay. All right, we're scrambling over this mess. This one's open. Am I gonna go in there? No, I don't have lights with me today. And I honestly wouldn't advise it. But there it is. Hello? Hello? Man, we're down in there mining. I don't even want to think of the number of people that were hurt doing this. There's some ice here at the opening. So we're going to be careful. I'm going to kneel down so you guys can see in there. So that opening is huge. I'm estimating that the height of the mine is probably 10 to 15 feet. I heard some dripping. People have gone down in there. There's graffiti. You see it's very rugged. Open this up as much as I can. That's the floor. Looks like there is a back. I don't have a light with me, so I'm not going to be going in there. I wasn't planning on doing that. But maybe when the weather's better, maybe we'll actually do that. Not today. But yeah, very cool. A very cool area. We're going to stand up here. And you guys can see what we just scrambled over. So that's looking out. So yeah, that was a little rough when we came down that. Definitely rough. So we're going to get down over this, and then we'll go back over to the other side, and we'll do the east side of the park. Show you guys the open pit mine. That was 4 of the 5 openings. I think there's one more yet, if we can find it. And we'll show you guys the open pit mine, which is really impressive. I mean, it's deep, very deep. That's where probably the majority of the ore was taken out. They didn't make mines like this, because this requires a lot more work to make. They didn't make mines like this till later, when they found ore pits that were worth, ore deposits that were worth going after. So that's a lot of work to dig something like that. Okay, so I'm going to make my way back over that, all back to the main trail, and then we will go up that hill there, and I'll show you guys the open pit mine. We'll eventually go back around on this side on trail 3, and show you guys the observation deck if it's still there. Let's swing around just so you guys can get a shot of that. That is just so cool. Absolutely cool. You know, that is neat. So like I said, if you're in York County, Pennsylvania, visiting for whatever, come check this out. Or if you're local to the area and you don't know about it, now you do. All right, let me get back down off this mess and I'll bring you guys back. We are back on the main trail and we were just over that area and I showed you guys the mine entrance, the two over on that side. So we have found 4 of the 5. And by the way, that ice I showed you guys earlier, I slipped on that coming out of that pit. So be careful. Even if you are careful, you can have an issue. So that's the big entrance I showed you guys. I consulted a map, and I think there's another mine right over there, because there's supposed to be 3 on this side. So there is a trail that goes up. So we're going to enter here again. And it's right here. Right there, up this pretty rough area. So we're going to go up that. And we're going to go up that slowly, because it is steep. It's steeper than what it looks. And you can see there's like a cleft in the rocks, and I think that's where the other entrance is. The maps they have of this area that you get from the county online and at the entrance, they're hand drawn. You can see. So this just gives you an idea how precarious this is. So that's the one entrance I showed you guys, and I'm already like 4 to 5 feet off the ground. And I'm going up this. So that's rough. So we're going to go slow. Slow and steady, because we got a lot of leaves. Makes this slippery. There's another shot of what I would call the main shaft. And you can see the open pit is above this. I'm going to show you guys that. But yeah, this is the other entrance over here. Wow. There's a tree. That's kind of neat. It's just growing out of the side of the hill there. That's the path we're going up. Like I already showed you, and it's a little rough. This is definitely not for the faint of heart. They call this trail easy. I would not call this one easy. And there, yeah, there were some diggings there. You can see the rock. Once we get up on here on this flat area, I'll spin around so you guys can see. See, up there's the hole. It's mountaintop. We're climbing this now. And there's the valley. And you can see what looks like a level road. And that's probably where they ran the railroad, probably up there too. You can just see the other hole, the other mine, over there. There you go. All right, let's keep going up this bugger. And it is very narrow, very steep. I think when I get up on top of this, I'm not coming down this. So when we get up there, we'll be on the hilltop. And what we'll do, yeah, this is rough. This is not easy trails right now. This is very rugged, especially, whoa, in this weather. And if I fall, it's there she wrote. Yeah, I'm climbing up. All right, I'm going to bring you guys back. I got to concentrate on climbing. It looks like there's I think that's the opening for the main hole. We're above the entrance. All right. That narrow little spit of ground is what I just ascended. And it was rough. There's this flat area here, as you can see, that's terraced out. It's very flat. I imagine this was something at one time for the mine. That one little digging I showed you as I was climbing the other mine, climbing this, that's this right here, right down in there. That's the other mine, and that's been filled or collapsed in. Right there is where that big main shaft is, and then that little spit, that narrow spit, ascends all the way up to that hilltop. And I came over to this flat terrace. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up this way. It's a little wider, a little safer. I'm here by myself. Discretion is a better part of valor in this. And we're going to climb this. And this is still steep, but it's nowhere near as narrow. This is actually part of the open pit works. What is with the bird feathers today? Now I just found a cardinal feather. So there's that's part of the open pit. You can see there's a big gash in the land. When I get up on top, I'll shoot a shot of it from the top down. But we're working our way to the hilltop up there. But we're gonna go up this way. So like I said, they rated these trails as easy. That's down in the valley. That's the approach. That's not these trails. You can see it's just, ground's all gashed. And that's where they just went to town mining. There is a road, a semi-main road that runs in the valley. That's why you're hearing truck traffic. It's getting close to mid-afternoon, so people are going to be heading home. Truckers are going to be coming by. That's why you're hearing. Here's another flat spot. We are now at the top of the hill, all but. Wow. Let's go out here. And we're going to shoot down into this. That's one of the open pit mines. Quarry. Actually, not a quarry. I guess you'd call it a quarry. There's some rhododendron I'm rubbing up against. And that's what I was ascending. You can see how rough that looks, especially when it gets up here. That's why I detoured over there. It's a little safer. And this is above. I'm going to go around here. This is above that hole in the ground. So this was some more mining they did. So they mined above it. And then when they found that the only way to get into the ore was to do a shaft mine. So down there, right about there, that's where that hole is with the back grates on it. This is a cool area. We're literally at the hilltop. And I imagine they cut this out, try exploring. Some graffiti. I don't know why people have a desire to do that, but they do. I don't, but I don't agree with it. And this is the top of the hill. Oh, I did go up trail number 3 and looked for that observation deck I talked about. I think it's gone. It wasn't in the best of condition when I was here years ago. So it's probably long since they probably tore it down. And that's so cool. It's a cool overlook. They all make a trail to this. Whoa. Be careful. Oh, wow. There is the main open pit. Right there. Right there. So those were 2 little open pits. Here's the main gash. And we're above all that right now. Cool. Absolutely awesome. And the trails over there, you can see there's a fence there. We'll get around to the back of that, but we're right now in the middle of the gash. This was probably the original rock formations on the hilltop, which is cool. I know I say which is cool a lot, but hey, this stuff is awesome. All right, so we're gonna make our way around there and we'll show you guys the main diggings of the open pit. I guess these over here were smaller open pit diggings. Just neat, absolutely neat. All right, we'll make our way down here and you guys can see that. We just left the rock promontory and we're circling our way to the back of the main open pit mine. There's these small, shallower open pits you can see on either side. We're kind of in the middle of it, which is kind of neat. There's an opening here, and I don't know what that is, so we're going to check it out. Might just be an opening into the open pit. Yep, this is just another exploration. We'll walk in here. You can see it's just we're in a depression. They dug into this. On the other side of that is the open pit. The back of the open pit, which is the shallower part. These diggings here are the oldest diggings. These were done before the shafts that I showed you first were done. We're going to work our way around here. And this should be the open pit. Yeah, so this here, get up over this hill. Right down there, that's the back of the open pit. That was that little entrance I showed you guys. So they might have been digging in there to open that up, or who knows. But yeah, that's the back. So that's about 15 feet deep, roughly. Right over that hump is the main part. So let's work our way down there so you guys can see that. Pretty impressive, to be honest. Where the cars park, parking's over that direction. And we're on the eastern side of the park. And we're going to gingerly walk out here. We don't want to fall. There is fencing here. Oh yeah, this is a good view of it. So there you can see it dives down, terraces out, and then it goes down. So we're going to walk out here, this hump, so you guys can get a really good view of this. So there's a terrace right there. And then out through there is the main pit. And at the end of that is the shaft. The promontory I was just standing on, or hanging out at, was right there. That's those rocks. But yeah, that is very deep. Let's go out here and we can get a good view of it. So this is the shallow part that I said was about 15 feet deep. Right there. And it goes out. And it terraces out and it goes down there to the main part, which is down there. And you can see, if you look up at that rock promontory, that's how deep that is. That's, wow, impressive. That's a big gash in the ground. Absolutely huge. I would say, it's 100 feet, if I'm estimating. So let's walk along the trail here. The trail walks along this open pit. They have fencing for your safety. And this goes out to the main drag. But we're going to work our way along this here so you guys can see down in there again. So this is trail 1 that we're on. 2 is kind of a joining trail. Trail 1 continues up around the hill. It goes to the backside of the main open pit and then just circles around the hill. We're not going to worry about that. It's really not much to see there. It's just woods. Even though woods are cool to see, we're just going to kind of show you guys the highlights of this place. The cool stuff. That was probably, so this is the other terrace where I set terrace down. So that's probably was like the entrance to get into and out of that open pit mine. And remember I said that the platform was gone. As you can see, this fencing is just deteriorating. So when you're here and you're looking down in this stuff, be careful. Really, really be careful. I can't say that enough. But you could just see, I walked all on top of that. I was on that promontory, which is down there. And I basically walked along that ridge there. And that's in the middle. There's diggings on either side through them rocks. The rocks up there were probably the original rocks that stuck out of the ground on the hill before they started mining all this out. We'll see if we can get a good shot here of this. We're right on the edge. This is probably the deepest part. So there's the top. And that's 100 some, probably over 100 foot drop. And that's the very bottom of the open pit mine. And it goes out that way. And below that is the shaft, the largest shaft mine. And it goes, works its way along here to the back. And that's the back, which is a lot shallower. Probably from that terrace down, probably about 20 feet. And then you have another 10, 15 feet from that terrace to the very top. But yeah, down in there was guys down in there with pickaxes and shovels and just mining away. And they blew it open. Let's get back on the trail here. Here's another, that was an exploratory digging. Oh, I got a little rock. This is new. Little steps here. That's nice. Probably it's the observation area. That's all this is, really. And you can see just how deep that is. If you see some snow, we're actually having some snow falling right now, which is cool. Love snow. This is just a little snow shower. We're not going to have any accumulation today, supposedly. Let's go around here and I'll show you guys more. And all these terraces, you can see it looks like terraces. That's where they dumped all the excess non-ore rock. So as they dug this out, they would just dump it to the side. And that's what this is. This whole landscape has just been human altered. Yeah. So yes, that is the bottom. That's the very bottom. That's the edge, right where my walking stick is. And it just works its way up along that face to the very top. And that's probably the highest point on the hill right there. I was on that promontory out there. That kind of sticks out, but that spot there is the highest spot. The rock formations up there are all natural. And they dug all this out with black powder and picks and shovels. And it continues out that way. And you can see that was the original opening. And then, like I said, below that is the shaft mine. All right. So we're going to head out. That's pretty much all there is to see here as far as historical stuff. We're going to follow this. I think this was an old walkway for the workers. You can just tell by the way it almost has some steps in it. But we're going to take this down. We're going to head out. There you can see more of the waste that's just piled up. They just piled it on the hill. Threw it where it was convenient. That's what they did. And we're going to descend the hill now. And we're going to head out. And this is just an easy descent. So I think this originally was probably an access trail for the workers, because it does a little switchback here, and it's terraced into the hill. See? Now that's new digging there, so I don't know what was going on there. Oh, actually, that's where a tree uprooted. That's what that is. So that's natural digging. That's been there for a while. That tree's pretty much shot. And we're just descending back down into the valley. This is easy walking, which is good. And these are all probably exploratory diggings all along here. What's F? So let's consult the somewhat vague paper map. F is probably that. I'm just curious. That's the old railway. So that would have been, see how level that is? So that was probably the original railway where they loaded the cars at the top out of the open pit mine. We passed E, and that was, like as I said, the dumps, as they call it. That's where they dumped all the material that was of no value basically just rock that didn't have ore in it. And we're descending back down into the valley. As you can see, like I said earlier, it is now snowing. We're not supposed to get any real accumulation. It's supposed to be just a snow shower, but it's still really cool because I love snow. But this was our look at the P. Joseph Raab County Park here in York County. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed seeing the old iron mines and learning about the history of this area. And like I mentioned multiple times, if you're here, come see this. It's a really cool area. Most of the trails aren't that hard except for when you get back up into the old open pit mine area. But come see it, enjoy it, and be safe. And if you like what you're seeing here, please like and subscribe. Get the word out. And like I said, we're seeing a lot of growth on the channel, and that's fantastic. I thank those of you who are supporting us and are watching and enjoying the videos. That's why we do this. You know, we just do it because we love it. And come out, check it out, enjoy the outdoors. So until next time, fair weather and safe journeys.
It is you've flown away, my friend. I think on you today. I hope sometimes you sing my songs all on the sunset.